Shalom. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone and rule well. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Noise in the gospel, brother, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is a quick lesson through the spirit. This article was actually sent a few days ago. It says, Houthis cut the Red Sea fiber optic cable in response to U.S. British warning. What happens is they do. As you know, like a lot of the internet, the World Wide Web is ran through to these different countries, and even over here to the United States, is ran through particular fiber optics that's underground, okay, or through the ocean across different continents. And this is how you get like what they call the World Wide Web and communications. And you know, you have mass cyber attacks and all these other things. As I was looking at the news briefly yesterday, and the FBI was talking about how you have Chinese nationalists that's pretty much posing a threat to the U.S. grid, and these particular cyber attacks on financial records and all this other shit. Like, I don't know if you brothers been noticing, but if you've been getting like a lot of random text messages from these different, just random people, 9 times out of 10 it's probably somebody that leaked your information, which it'd be your own government selling your personal information to these third-party vendors and these different corporations across seas. They sell that shit to people. Okay, all this information, like the Russians, look, even though they got spies, believe it or not, America is selling all the secrets to these other governments, man. Okay, it's not the fact that they're coming over here and sending KGB agents and spying in the fucking White House. Even though you do have spies here, nonetheless, the U.S. government, Esau was selling this information to people because he needs to create what he calls order out of chaos, man. If you understand that term, order out of chaos. But it says here, in the current international situation, Yemen's Houthi warning to the U.S. and U.K. has attracted widespread global attention. It reads, the Houthis have threatened that they would not hesitate to cut the Red Sea undersea fiber optic cable if the U.S. and U.K. launch another attack in Yemen airports, which will cause blackouts and financial instability. Banks will go under, you know, maybe the grid go down, because the grid is going to get shut down eventually, sooner than later. But it says, the Red Sea undersea optic cable, the lifeblood of the communication pathways, connects Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. It says such a threat not only poses a threat to geopolitical stability, but could also have a serious impact on global financial markets, meaning the stock market, your housing market, you know, your banking sectors, your private sectors, you know, your municipalities, your state governments. All these things will cease to exist, literally. But it reads, the Red Sea submarine cables, like any other fiber optic cables, are communication cables made of glass fibers with plastic outer layers that is usually buried under the sea and are used for communication and data and transmission around the globe. Because contrary to popular opinion, they say satellites. I mean, you could consider those underground satellites, so to speak, because this is how they communicate. I mean, they say, well, you got satellites in the heavens. I mean, you do have satellites that is elevated, and you do have like satellites in the heavens as well, but you have these fiber optics too underneath the ocean and underneath the ground that you can get your communications to as well. Okay, this is how a lot of times these particular, like you see how they communicate through these particular naval ships, they can communicate through those fiber optics. This is how they have the connection or the Wi-Fi connection in order to communicate with these different governments. And it reads here, it says these submarine cables usually consist of multiple fibers, each cable withstanding high-speed data transmission. But the structural design of submarine fiber optic cables is very complex to ensure long-term stable operation in a submarine environment. It says the role of submarine cables, optic cables carry the data transmission of global financial transactions and are one of the indispensable infrastructures of the modern financial industry. It says more than 99% of the world's international internet traffic and more than 80% of international telephone communication traffic passes through submarine fiber optic cables. And this lets us know here, this is why they can hack into your Wi-Fi. This is why they can hack into your phones. This is why you can have the Wi-Fi and your PlayStation, all this other shit, man. I was watching a movie a couple of weeks ago. I can't recall the name of it, but basically they showed a clip on how Esau Edom could literally He can hack into your camera on your phone. He can hack into your camera on your PlayStation. He can hack into your camera on your television. Literally, he can see everything. I'm like, literally, like what I'm doing now. He can literally zoom into my camera and see everything I'm saying. Okay, he can see every time you didn't watch TV. He can see every time you didn't scratch your nuts. Every time you didn't have sex with your woman. He knows what time you take a bowel movement. He knows what time. He knows if you're talking in your sleep. You know, he knows all these things. He knows what you have for lunch. You know, he knows all this shit, man. And why? Because these fiber optics, he can hack into them. They showed a group of Edomites. They was like in this underground bunker, and they had like this big Mission Impossible HD screen on everybody in the fucking country. And they showed you that in that movie Batman, The Dark Knight, when he was able to tap into everybody's communication lines to find out what the Joker was doing. And pretty much Alfred said this is very unethical. No, not Alfred. Lucius said it was unethical, and then because Bruce Wayne did that, he said he was going to resign from his position because he felt that was an unethical act, which it is. Who the fuck wants to be watched, man, in their own private homes? The whole time Big Brother's watching. All right. But anyway, it says more than 99% of the world's international internet and traffic and more than 80% of international telephone communications passes through the submarine fiber optic cables. It says the financial sector submarine fiber optic cables support real-time data transmission between major financial centers worldwide, ensuring fast, secure, and reliable financial transactions. So if you want to put some money in your bank account, or if you want to transfer $100 into your savings account, you can do it instantly because of this. And they know. Okay. It says as of May 23, the total length of submarine cables worldwide have exceeded 1.5 million kilometers. Wow. Connecting all continents and important financial cities. New York, UK, DC, Chicago, LA, Moscow, Shanghai, and just to name a few cities, Morocco, France, all these major world cities, right? And it says as the main conduits for financial transactions, submarine cables play an important role of enabling high frequency and large value transactions as well as the transmission of financial information. It says they support the operation of global stock, foreign exchange, bond, and commodity markets and are directly related to the interests of investors and enterprises and financial institutions. It says the impact of cutting this severance of submarine cables will have a wide-ranging impact on global financial markets. And hey, these things are going to happen, man. But Edom is going to be behind it. It says some developed countries dominate the world's largest financial centers with numerous financial institutions and market participants. It says the disruption and delay of financial transactions, but the severance of underwater fiber cables will result in disruptions and delays in financial transactions, creating instability in financial markets, hence your economic collapse. It says as financial transactions require real-time data and fast execution, and any delays could trigger inaccuracies and a drop of liquidity. It says the severance of submarine fiber optic cables could exacerbate cybersecurity risk. Financial exchanges rely on high-speed, reliable data transmissions, and any interruptions or tampering with data could result in loss of financial institutions and investors, as well as a knock-on efforts of confidence of the financial markets. Okay, and it reads that fiber optics easy to cut. All right, and this is pretty much almost the end of the article. But nonetheless, I'll read the rest of it because I want to get a couple of precepts too as well. Because I mean, this is a depiction of it here. So you better believe that they said that if you continue to attack our regions, then we're going to cut the financial transactions, which will lead into a global economic collapse. So this thing is heating up, and this is a declaration of war. Okay, but it says submarine fiber optic cables are capable of withstanding certain destructive forces and are often guarded to protect them from undersea activity, fishing trawls, natural disasters, and unforeseen events. It says submarine cables are not easy to cut, but the cables are typically laid on the ocean floor and buried thousands of meters below the seabed. It says that the construction and maintenance require significant financial and technical support, as well as dealing with the challenges of marine environment as undersea earthquakes, tsunamis, and damage from marine life. It says the severance of underwater fiber optic cables is relatively a rare event, but hey, they count out Leviathan. But it says the probability of serving a submarine fiber optic cable was low, but there are still some potential risk factors. Submarine fiber optic cables may experience human factors during laying and maintenance, such as accidental damage or vandalism. But in addition, the submarine cables can be affected by natural disasters and geological activity, although these are relatively rare. But however, if somebody intentionally damaged the submarine fiber optic network, then this may entail considerable costs. And they did it this way because, honestly speaking, it's hard to navigate the ocean. So that's probably one of the safest places they can put it. You know what I mean? The ocean goes down for miles, man. So just imagine how deep those wires are. Kind of wow. That's show you that this man was given, this is his rulership. You know, but it says here, first and foremost, the submarine and fiber optic cables are a key facility for global communications, and that their existence reflects on the interconnectedness of the planet, as well as being a lifeline for financial transactions and dissemination of information. But if this lifeline is cut, financial transactions will be blocked and information transmissions will be interrupted. People may lose contact as a result, and business activities will be hampered as a result, hence a breakdown of society. But the inability to carry out a large number of financial transactions and commercial communications could trigger panic in the capital market, increase market uncertainty, and possibly trigger a financial crisis. Second, the threat capability held by the Houthis in Yemen is real, and that they have proven themselves capable of launching attacks that pose a direct threat to global communication facilities. So this reinforces global concerns about the conflict in the Middle East. But in this context, continue the looming situation in Yemen will further increase global tensions, man. Okay, so, hey, we have to wait and see, but we know eventually that this will be a thing. Okay, whether Esau decides to collapse the market with the push, because don't get it twisted. This is not the only means they have to collapse the market. I mean, Esau can literally push a button and shut this shit down, man. And then literally it'll be back Stone Age. Like, you remember that whole Y2K scare? Hey, with the push of a button, they could shut down these global systems. And, hey, before you know it, your transactions will read zero. Okay, and this is a declaration of war. So this is the book of Matthew 24. And I'm going to start at verses 4. It says, And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceiveth you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am the anointed, and shall deceive many. And you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. And this is a rumor of a war. Though there is war in the Middle East, okay, among these other nations, the Houthis, the rebels, okay, the UK, America, Russia, China, okay, North Korea. Okay, you have little proxy wars, you have ground wars. All right, but this is still a rumor because it haven't happened yet. And it says, See that ye be not troubled. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. It says, For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And it says, And there should be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in divers places. Okay, and kingdom against kingdom represents a world war, what we're reading now. Because I guarantee you, when the financial collapse or when the financial markets collapse globally, those missiles will be shut off shortly thereafter. Okay, because I believe, this is my personal opinion, that this will be the camel. What is the term they use? The straw that broke the camel's back. Because all the tensions that you're seeing happening in the world today among these other nations, I believe once they collapse the economy, then that's when the nation is going to say, you know what, enough is enough. Okay, we have nothing to gain from you. Your financial system is completely destroyed. You have nothing to offer us, so we just going to destroy you. Their true feelings and intentions about how they feel about this place and this devil is really going to manifest itself once the money is not given out anymore. So that's going to give them even more reasons to shoot missiles on you. Okay, but since nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and there should be famines and pestilence and earthquakes in diverse places. It says these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay, so this is the time we're in. Okay, so they're talking about cutting financial markets. They're talking about cutting these particular fiber optics. Hey, that's going to be a scary thing for you people that invest in the stock market. Okay, because you people that's like stock market investors, which all that's controlled anyway. If this happens, then you're going to lose all your lifetime investments. Okay, I've heard of people putting literally life savings in stock markets and losing it within a second. I mean, men didn't lost tens of millions of dollars in the stock market from one collapse of a particular stock. And I mean, I'm talking about billions wiped out within seconds, man. And that's why motherfuckers commit suicide. You see? All right, so this is the book of Zephaniah 1. And let's start at verses 10. It says, And it shall come to pass in that day, says Yahweh, that there should be a noise of the cry from the fish gate, and a howling in a second It says, and a howling from the second and a great crashing from the hills. Okay, that crashing is talking about a financial market crowd, financial collapse. When these markets collapse, there ain't gonna be nobody going to work. Okay, because a dollar literally is not gonna be worth shit, which it ain't worth nothing now. You know, then you're gonna have hyperinflation. When I'm talking about a pack of fucking hot dogs gonna run your ass $155, loaf of bread $300, a carton of eggs $1,000, gallon of milk $700, cheese $200, a case of water $5,000, man. And I'm just throwing these numbers out there. And let's not talk about rent. Your rent could be from being $850 a month to $10,000 a month. Oh, you got to pay us $10,000 a month to stay in this 1-bedroom, 610 square foot apartment. You're like, what? And that's when all hell gonna break loose. Okay, and it says, and how ye inhabitants of Maktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down, and all they bear silver are cut off. Yeah, your financial markets. And they're basically threatening the West, like, look, we can cut you, we can shut you down. And you better believe they're gonna go to war behind that shit, man. And it says here, and it should come to pass that I will search Jerusalem with candles and punish all the men that are settled on their lees and in their hearts, and the Lord will not do good, neither would he do evil. And therefore their good should become a booty, and their houses a desolation. And they should also build houses and not inhabit them, and they should plant vineyards but not drink the wine thereof. Like all this building, the smart cities, man. You know, Esau's washing away cities to build up his 15-minute smart city. You ain't gonna inhabit that shit, man. You know, like all these insurance companies are leaving California because of the so-called disasters, which they're creating, by the way. They're getting up to leave because they want to destroy these cities and they want to build up these 15-minute smart cities. You know, because if you understand 5G and 6G, they work in short bursts. Okay, you have to have so many of these particular algorithms set up within a vicinity so it can work efficiently, man. And they're radiating your ass to death. You know, like a lot of the sicknesses that people feel is really from radiation poisoning from these fucking towers, you know, and the shit that's spraying in the air. But it says, and the great day of the Lord is near. It is near and it hasten greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord. And what's the voice of the day of the Lord? The rumors and the prophecies that the men of the Lord are speaking. The voice of the day of the Lord, man, because we're telling you that the day of the Lord is near. And we're going to wake up one day and it's going to be a whole different America. All hell is going to break loose on the streets of America, man. And I don't think that you Jakes out there fathom this reality. And it says, and the mighty men shall cry there bitterly. Okay, these are men of war, skilled men, you know. These men that pride themselves in being these top guys, hey, they going to cry bitterly, man. Okay, even from you false camps out there, you men that like to get carnal, and you ain't going to stand on two legs in that day. Hey, if you ain't got the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai in these coming times, then you will not make it. And I repeat, if the spirit of the Lord is not dealing with you, I don't give a damn how many Bible scriptures you memorize. If the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai is not with you, you're not going to make it. And that's for any one of us. That's my hope's prayer, that the Lord is with me in that day. Because if the Lord ain't with me, then I ain't going to make it through this shit. But I got faith that the Lord is with me, man. You know? And it boils down to election. But it says here, the day of wrath and the day of trouble and distress and the day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess and a day of clouds and thick darkness. You know, the darkness is symbolically and is literally from the blackouts, from the death, and from the wars, man. Okay. And it says, and I will bring, and it says, that a day of trumpet and alarm against the fenced cities and against the high towers. And I will bring distress upon men, and they shall walk like blind men, because they have sinned against the Lord, and their blood should be poured out as dust, and their flesh as dung. Neither their silver nor gold should be able to deliver them in the day of Yahweh's wrath, but the whole land should be devoured by the fire of his jealousy, which is talking about America. And he should make even a speedy riddance of all them that dwell in the land, because the scriptures say that the Lord is going to take 1 hour to destroy this goddamn place. And I can't wait, man. All right, so with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. Lord, will you edify it to the next lesson. Shalom.